Welcome to Leadership Legacy Radio, where we inspire you to live your dreams, encourage you to take massive action, and be your authentic and genuine self. We focus on 3 pillars. That's empowering youth, equipping leaders, and enriching marriages so that you can go out and dominate your space.
If you're ready to dominate, you're listening to the right show. This is the Leadership Legacy Radio. Now let's go.
Hola. Hey everyone. Let us know. Where you checking in from? So excited to have you guys on here. Right before the 4th of July, I wanted to talk to you guys about some interesting things that continue to come up, and that we wanted to make sure that we are, connecting with you guys and talking to you guys about this so that we can, ensure that we help you reach the success that you desire. And so, today we wanted to talk to you about, as you can see in the title, is your dream really your dream?
Yep. Are you able to pull it up on the side like you did the last
time? Yep. Go ahead. If you want to go ahead and do your comments.
Let you start and just fill in with my points.
All right. Sweet.
They relate.
Awesome. So is your dream really your dream? So the reason we wanted to talk about this is because oftentimes we've realized that for us, we wanted to make sure that we're not imposing our dreams on our kids, imposing our dreams on each other. It's important that you share your dreams. But it's equally important that you understand that it's your dream and know that if it's truly yours. So I remember growing up, one of the things that I was often asked is, what do you want to be when you grow up? And for a long time, for me, I wanted to be what I thought was right. My dad was a successful dentist. And so at the time I was thinking to myself, that's what I want to be. I want to be a dentist. However, was that truly my dream? And I share that because, oftentimes that's what happened is you have a vision, you have something that is provided to you. And then you're like, oh, I want to be that. So, fast forward to a year before I decided to join the military. And at the time, one of my best friends, Jeffrey, he had just taken his ASVAB, scored like a ridiculously high score. And I was just thinking to myself, man, I can't live up to that. That's Jeffrey. Like, he's like the smartest dude in the world. And so I took the ASVAB. I scored really well. And I was asked, are you going to join the military? So the only thing that I knew at the time was that my uncle had served, my sister was serving, and I was just torn. So my uncle was a Marine, my sister was in the Army, and everything was pointing to those 2 services. So funny story, we had these recruiters come over, and they came over in a series, right? So we had the Army recruiter, he came over. Actually, I take that back. The Army recruiter never showed up. So that right there was a red flag. That was you're not serious about this. You're lost. So then the Marine recruiter came, and my mom was very impressed with his uniform. He was sharp. He came in looking good, said all the right things. But something didn't seem right. To me, something didn't seem right. So then the Navy recruiter came to our home, and he had on all his whites, and he was talking, and he said a few things, and something for me just felt a little bit off, right? And so as soon as he left, my mom looks to me and she says, I don't like his uniform. And I was like, well, I'm glad you said it, because there was something that was off, and maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was his uniform. And so lastly, the Air Force recruiter came, and this guy was very, relaxed, calm. He came in and he talked to me. He's like, look, we'll be better if you join. The Air Force is all about taking care of its people. And I really appreciate his authenticity. The only thing that I didn't like is, after that meeting, we had a conversation and it was like, oh man, you're going to get to put your name on a plane and you're going to get to like do this and you're going to be, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, yeah, I want my name on a plane. Mm-hmm. So at that point, I wanted to be, and don't laugh, but feel free to laugh. I wanted to be a flying dentist. And so I was like, okay, audacious, let's do it. Let's go after it. But at the same time, that still hadn't been my dream. And so I joined the service and I'm doing fine. And like, I find out that my recruiter had left out a little bit of information. Like I had to work my way to put in my name on the plane. And it takes a long time. Like you have to be the man to have your name on the plane, because as a mechanic, you had to be basically the lead mechanic on that plane. And so I'm thinking to myself like, wow, like, am I going to ever do what I want to do? Like I want to have my name on the plane. And so fast forward, I get deployed. And during this deployment, deployment is when you serve overseas and you go and in a foreign country and you just, you serve in a foreign nation. So I was deployed at the time. And as I was going through my stuff, I ended up finding this book, and it was a leadership book. And it was the first time that I had kind of like been, I wouldn't say intentionally, but I was exposed to leadership in a very profound way. It was, I can never forget it. It was the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. So I found the book and I was like, oh man, that's pretty cool. There's laws to leadership. And so as I'm reading this book, I realized that one of the things that had kept sticking out to me is that if you're not living your dream, it's almost like you're going through the motions, like you're on this hamster wheel and just continuously going. And so I started thinking like, whose dream am I living? At that point I had realized like I joined the service because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I hadn't really truly asked myself what I wanted to become. I had wanted to be a dentist. And so that was still a thing, but I was like, that's because, that's what my dad was. And then as I was reading this book, I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to help people. I want to inspire people to be their absolute best. And so for me, it was no longer doing what my parents were like, had as this ideal state, because that's what success looked like. It had no longer been what I had seen, or what I had heard. It had been what I truly was passionate about. So when we ask you this question, is your dream really your dream? It's with authenticity.
Mm-hmm. And I know, for me, for sure, thinking about what my dream is, what I'm passionate about, for a long time, it was what I saw those around me, whatever they reached, whatever, they accomplished. So my granddaddy was, he retired from the Navy. So I felt like, okay, in order to be successful, I had to join the military. Not many people in my family had went to college. So I did what I thought that I could do. And as I've become more intentional about trying to discover what I'm passionate about, what I want to do, man, it is so absolutely so freeing, because I get to move forward in a direction that I want to move in. Like Christian described, it's not like, okay, life is just happening to me. I'm happening, to life. I'm doing the things that I love and that I enjoy. And the creativity and the passion that goes along with that is so, it just feels good. It feels right. It feels like, hey, this is something that I've been missing almost. And I encourage, anybody that's watching, anybody that, I don't care how old you are, if you don't know what your purpose is, what your passion is, be intentional. Take time to find out what it is. And it's something that we talked about, many times before. Our success is not based on making millions of dollars or what other people do. Our success is based on whether or not we have fulfilled our purpose, and that's our dream. What is your dream? What is some big audacious thing that you feel like people may say, oh, you can't do that? More than likely, that's what you were created to do. Because if it doesn't scare you, then it probably, isn't your ultimate, goal, your ultimate dream. We have to go after it with purpose. We have to have a plan. We have to have passionate and with persistence. Those are 4 things that I am just discovering and just absolutely enjoying as we are on this journey, because it's just beginning, and we're excited to share every step.
Absolutely. So the first thing that I had kind of tried to lay out for you guys is, do you own your dream, right? You have to own your dream. If it's somebody else's, what will happen is, and this is going to go into our second point, you're going to find out that when times get tough, you find every excuse to give up. Yeah. Because it's not your dream. It doesn't inspire you. It doesn't motivate you. You're not filled with passion. You don't feel purpose. You don't feel like, I got to do this. Yeah. But when you own your dream, when it's your dream, what will happen is you will go from being pushed to being pulled towards your dream. Mm-hmm. And that's what we feel. When we come on these lives, we feel like we are able to make a difference, even if it's in the life of one person, to share that you need to have purpose. You need to have a plan. You need to have that passion and that persistence to get you to where you want to go. Because when you own your dream and you understand that you are being pulled, right? Mm-hmm. So what tends to happen is, and let me give you a good, perfect illustration of this. When the scariest time in somebody's life is when they're leaving something. So if I go to retire from a job, because I don't have something ready, there's oftentimes this feeling of being scared, like the unknown, a mystery. Mm-hmm. But the moment you have something to go to, what I've seen a lot of my friends doing, it's interesting because a lot of my friends are retiring right now. A lot of my friends are excited about retirement because they're going to something. Mm-hmm. There's a few that have been scared, worried, and it's because of the unknown.
And they're just leaving something.
They're leaving something. They're leaving something and not going to something. So if you can go to something and it involves going towards your passion, you're going to get pulled and you will no longer be pushed. So when you go to your dreams, that's what you want to do. You want to be pulled. You want to be inspired and motivated to go towards your dreams.
Mm-hmm. And that's just so important, that whole, leaving something versus going towards something else. I've applied that to so many different decisions that I've had to make in aspects of my life. I felt, guilty when I'm like, okay, this is just not the place for us. This is not what I'm meant to do. But I was afraid because I wasn't necessarily going towards something. And then when, Christian talked to me about making sure that you are going towards something versus just leaving something, it was a lot easier. It was a lot easier to let go of something that was not meant for me to do in the first place. And even, as we're talking about, reaching your dreams, even if you're in a job now that may not necessarily be your dream job, or you may not be going towards, you may not be operating in your dream. You may not have, gotten, this hotel. If you want to have you want to build hotels, if you want to, do something great for, youth or, battered women or, whatever it is that you want to do, whatever your dream is, even if right now, whatever job you're in, that job is just a stepping stool to get you to where your purpose to be. So don't feel any kind of way about being where you are. Use that as an opportunity to get you to where you need to be. Learn and grow right where you are, so that in that job, in that season of your life, it's going to help you once you get to your ultimate goal, when you get to your dream and you're fulfilling your dream.
And there's two things that have come up, along this growth journey. Two phrases that I think they've grown on me, but they help kind of illustrate this and drive home the point that Sharita is making. You want to make sure that for a long time, like if you don't do good in a job, you won't get an opportunity to do another job. So, for example, you're given an opportunity to work at Minot Air Force Base, and you don't do a great job with that opportunity. You complain, you don't do the work that you're tasked to do, and then this opportunity comes along, and they're looking for somebody that's great at what they do. You just missed your opportunity because you didn't do what Sharita just said. And this is the phrase, you didn't bloom where you were planted. Mm-hmm. You didn't grow with that opportunity. Mm-hmm. Every opportunity that we're given is an opportunity to shine, to grow, to show others your capability, your full potential. So if you waste that moment, if you waste that specific time, you will struggle because people will think with that first impression that you may not be the right person for this job. And that may not be the case. Mm-hmm. You were just not excited about that job. So what we want you guys to do is, as you ask yourself, is this my dream? Am I passionate about this dream? Understand that there is a cost for your dream. So the cost question is, am I willing to pay the price for this dream? Mm-hmm. And the price is usually time. Mm-hmm. The price is usually, I'm going to work this, 9 to 5, and then I'm going to work on my dreams from 8 to 9. Mm-hmm. You have to take the time to understand that it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be, instantaneous. And that was something that me and Sharita talked about a lot. Sometimes when you get frustrated because you don't get progress in your dream, it's not because you're not going and working towards your dream. It's because you want it faster than it's supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. Every champion, every leader, every master was once a beginner. And that's the problem, is we tend to forget that we all have to start somewhere. Mm-hmm. We all have to begin and learn and grow and master and then lead others, right? So the cost, sometimes as you're starting to pay the price for your dream, you're starting to put in the time for your dream, you're starting to invest in your dream, you're going to run into opportunities, and we're going to call these opportunities, where people won't support your dreams. And Billy Alsbrooks says it best. People aren't, they aren't, concerned about your dreams, and it's not that they don't support your dreams, is that they're not comfortable about where they're going to be when you get to your dreams. Mm-hmm. So don't surround yourself with naysayers. Don't allow negativity to come around you. You surround yourself with the right people. You get people that you can share your dreams with, that will fuel your dreams. There's a saying that we like to say now, and it's called lighter fluid. And anytime, and we got that from Billy Alsbrooks. And what's happened is, anytime our kids go through something, anytime we struggle with something, we just say lighter fluid.
Use it as lighter fluid.
Use it as lighter fluid. So if people talk about me, lighter fluid. If I had a mistake today, lighter fluid. If, the finances aren't right, lighter fluid. Everything that you struggle with, use it as motivation and inspiration to pull you forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I just, you're talking about, him, how we really like listening to Billy Alsbrooks, and how he talk about, people aren't afraid of, you accomplishing your goal or you reaching your dream. They're afraid of where they're going to be when you get there. Absolutely. It's so important that we recognize that we have to share dreams with the right people. You're definitely going to need people in order to accomplish your dream. You're going to need people. In order for you to go far, you're going to need people. And one thing that, we're learning, it's important for you to reach out to people that are already your friends as well. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because they want to see you succeed.
Yes.
That person that's already successful, that person that's already making millions of dollars, they may not want to see you get to where they are for, a variety of different reasons, but your friends do. And it's important that you share your dream with the right people, because not everybody is going to support you. Not everybody is going to believe in you. And oftentimes it's the reality of things. It's going to be people that are close to you, people that might be in your household, people that, you've known for years and years. And that's called familiarity. I can't even say that word. You know what I'm talking about?
Familiarize? Or?
Yeah, like they're familiar with you. So they're used to you, being in a certain place in your life, being in a certain state, doing things a certain way. So when you decide to change, when you decide to go and to do something different, when you finally discover your passion and your dreams, and those people are looking at you like, you can't do that. You just been in the military. You can't go start your own business and make all this money. You can't do that. It's so important that you are wise, because sometimes we just want to go tell people everything, and you just can't.
So we're going to just take a quick intermission. We want to say hi to everybody that's on the live. We see Mom, Marisa. We see Peter. See Keisha. We see Jessica. We see Jose. We see Ashley. And so I'm going to give you two quick illustrations. As I've been doing this training, helping people understand the importance of, suicide awareness, the importance of violence prevention, and different things. And this training has resonated with me because it's brought out something that I already love doing. And it's helping people understand that they have the power within them to make a difference. One person can't change the world, but one person can change the world for one individual. And what I say is, if I take the time to connect with you, if I take the time to understand who you are and where you are in your life, oftentimes, if I'm genuine and I'm sincere and I talk to you, just by me asking how you're doing today and caring enough to listen, you can basically see that somebody cares. And that could be the difference, whether you're going through a rough time. One of my friends shared that, oftentimes we look at Facebook and you might be scrolling and it seems like Mark Zuckerberg, like he has an in your life. That's the CEO of Facebook, right? And it's like you're going through Facebook and say you're going through a hard time. Maybe you're thinking about, separating from your spouse. And all of a sudden on Facebook, it pops up, you don't need him. And you're like, you're right, Facebook, I don't need him. And it's like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Like, that's not what you need to be doing. So what I challenge you to do is understand that win or lose, you have to stay committed. The cost, we often don't realize that the cost is more than we anticipated. The journey is longer than we knew and expected. Champions aren't created on the court. They're merely recognized there. Champions are built on the field. They're created over long practices, long performances, a lot of, stretching, working out. And the same thing when it comes to saving somebody's life. The same thing when it comes to building your business. People don't see the work you put in the background. Spending the time getting to know somebody, you can save their life. Spending the time investing in your business, surrounding yourself with the right people, will take your business to astronomical levels.
It can change your life.
And it can change your life. And sometimes knowing the right people to share your dream with, knowing the right people to ask, because there are some people out there that may not be close to you, but may be 2 steps ahead of you that want to pull you up, but they want to see that you're willing to put in the work. Are you willing? Do you own your dream? Are you passionate enough to follow your dream? And are you willing to pay the price for your dream? So the last thing we wanted to share you guys is, does your dream bring fulfillment?
That's good.
Fulfillment is essential. Yeah. If you try to be a success in life, you're going to struggle, because what is success? We all define success for ourselves.
Yes.
Success for me can be a great father, a loving husband, a great worker, a good steward, an amazing son, a philanthropist, an engineer. What is success?
Right. Because you can actually, it's people in our society, in our day and age, can be successful to the world. They can make millions of dollars. They can have a successful job and not in reality be successful, because they never fulfilled their purpose. They never, accomplished their dream or what they have been created and purposed to do. If they've never done that, then they haven't been successful. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how hard you work at this other job or this other thing. If you didn't do what you were purposed to do, then you aren't successful. We're successful when we fulfill our purpose in life.
Absolutely. And if you, so the reason we talk about fulfilling is your dream fulfilling, is because when you're seeking fulfillment, you get excited, you get inspired, you get fueled, you get, you're just like filled with just energy. But when you seek success and you don't know what it is, it's like a leader without a vision. The scripture says it best, people perish for lack of vision. Without the vision, people perish, right? And so you got to make sure that you understand that, like, your attainment, your success is driven by fulfillment. Are you making a difference? Are you helping others? Are you being fulfilled? Do you get excited every day when you get up? For me, the day that I stop getting excited about going to work is the day that I need to hang it up. Because if you never work a day, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And that's true fulfillment. Being able to see your kids grow, being able to spend time with your spouse, being able to travel the world. What does fulfillment look like to you? And, we truly enjoy coming out here and sharing with you guys. And we just, enjoy. So we wanted to make sure that we came out here and just challenge you guys to ask you, is your dream truly your dream?
And I'll just leave with this. Proverbs 16:1 says that the preparations of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. So don't put any limitations on how you're going to reach your dream. If you have a dream, or, something that you're passionate about and you want to do, don't worry about how it's going to get done. Leave that up to God. Leave that is completely out of your hands. Make your plan. Write it down. Success finds those that are prepared, those that are ready, those that can manage it. So if you have your plan, if you have your vision, write it down. Make it plain, and then after that, it's going to happen. It's going to make its way to you. So don't limit yourself. Don't put yourself in a box, like we like to say, because of
don't do it
resources, or you feeling like, oh my gosh, this is too big. I don't know how I'm going to get it done. Don't worry about that. It's going to happen. You leave that in God's hands.
Yeah. So, like I said, we like to, tonight, we wanted to just kind of encourage you guys and make sure that you guys understand that, there's so many things that you can do. There's so many things that happen. Don't let life happen to you. You need to happen to life. Yes. You need to own your dream. You need to have the passion and drive to fulfill your dream. Mm-hmm. You need to be willing to pay the price for your dream. And you also need to make sure that your dream brings you fulfillment.
Yes. Don't live for Don't continue living to fulfill somebody else's dream. We all were created for a purpose, and you have purpose and you were called to do something great, to answer. You have the answer to a problem that we have in this life and in this world.
All right. So, before we close, we wanted to share 2 comments with you guys. We love the comments. So, Keisha put a comment. She said, right. Are you willing to do the extra credit work?
Yes.
Right. Being willing to put in the extra credit, put in that extra time is crucial because, sometimes I like to say this. We don't often look like what we've been through, right? But oftentimes it doesn't look like what we thought it would be. Right? So because it's taken long, that doesn't mean that your blessing isn't on the other side. Because it doesn't come in your time and doesn't mean it's not right. Understanding that the way that it looks like to you may not be the way that you expected it to be. But if you stay with it, you stay persistent, you have that plan, you follow your purpose, and you just continuously, infuse your dream with passion, that's where you're going to go. Lastly, Ashley stated, don't limit yourself. This is critical because other people may put a limit on you.
Yes, they will.
And we talk about this a lot. One of my mentors made this comment to me, and it's resonated with me, and I use it a lot. Don't put me in a box. I'm allergic to boxes. I remember as a kid, I would try to scribble outside the lines, and then I realized I would get in trouble for it. So I would go in the lines, but I knew what I was doing. I was like, okay, don't try to tell me what to do. But it's so funny because, sometimes you got to scribble in the lines, but in life, you have to go all in. You have to play the game and you have to go all in.
Don't limit yourself.
So don't limit yourself. Yeah. Give yourself big, audacious goals and go all in.
Don't worry about how you're going to get there.
Absolutely. You only have to be one step ahead. All right. So what we always like to leave you guys with is go out and dominate your space. Be the best you that you can be. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Have a wonderful evening.
Take care, guys.
Take care.